that all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others.
This is from the Creed of the Church of Scientology. Hey everybody, I'm Holly, aka the ScientoloGeek, and welcome to the 12th episode of covering the Student Hat series. Now we're going to be going over two bulletins today, one about fast flow training and the other about checkouts. If you want access to any of these materials, such as the flag orders, base orders, student hat stuff, any of the stuff in the Google Drive, feel free to email me at scientologeek@gmail.com, or you can go to the Discord server, link in the description below, and you can DM me from there with a valid Gmail address. Without any further ado, let's get started. So we have the HCOB of the 13th of August 1972, revised 9 August 1990. This is called Fast Flow Training and references the following policy letters and bulletins. Method 1, word clearing. Flows and expansion, the fast flow system. Organization, the flaw. Fast flow and ethics. False attestation. Superliteracy and the cleared word. Primary rundown, revised. The primary correction rundown, revised. Primary correction rundown handling. And drug handling.
So that there is no question about what is meant by fast flow training. Any student who honestly completes the student hat and method 1 word clearing or the primary rundown or the primary correction rundown is thereafter designated a fast flow student. The fast flow student passes courses by attestation at certs and awards to the effect that he has A, enrolled properly on the course, B, has paid for the course, C, has studied and understands the materials, D, has done the drills, E, can produce the result required in the materials. The student's given a provisional certificate. This looks like any other certificate, but is not gold sealed and has provisional plainly on it. In the case of an auditor, an internship or formal auditing experience is required. When actual honest evidence is presented to CNA that he has demonstrated that he can produce flubless results, his certificate is validated with a gold seal and is a permanent certificate. In administrative courses or courses of any kind not having to do with auditing, the same procedure is followed and a provisional certificate is issued by CNA. The person must now demonstrate that he can apply the materials studied by producing an honest, actual statistic in the material studied. He presents this evidence to CNA and receives a validation gold seal on his certificate. Provisional certificates expire 1 year after, if not validated. The fast flow student studies within his knowledge of study tech. He is assisted by supervisors. Any word clearing action needed can be done on him. He can be sent to qual and crammed. He can be star rated and made to clay demo by the supervisor. He does not, however, have to have a twin on theory. He does not automatically star rate items. He does not have to have an examination. The above applies to all Dianetics and Scientology courses. The only exceptions are courses such as the Hubbard Key to Life and Hubbard Life Orientation course, which specify in the materials that twinning is required for all students. Note, a fast flow student must still do all clay representations called for on a course check sheet, such as the Hubbard Key to Life course, Hubbard Life Orientation course, Hubbard Professional TR course, and any others issued in the future. These are not the same thing as clay demos.
I'm curious, what is a clay representation?
The fast flow system makes for very rapid training. This becomes possible due to the developments of Method 1 word clearing and the student hat, the primary rundown, and the primary correction rundown. Prerequisites. The student hat is mandatory for all major courses. See the reference from the bulletin Tech Correction Roundup. The student hat and Method 1 word clearing or the primary rundown or the primary correction rundown are required for the student to fast flow his courses. Note, Method 1 word clearing is a prerequisite for Academy Level 0 to 4, OEC, and higher level tech and admin training. See the policy letter Method 1 word clearing. Students who are not fast flow. Those students who have not had Method 1 and student hat or primary rundown or primary correction rundown must star rate, clay demo, and go through the materials as many times as required using the entirety of the student hat or basic study manual for staff hatting. It is much faster to do Method 1 and student hat or the PRD or PCRD first. Drug cases. Where a drug case cannot be gotten through Method 1 word clearing due to case, it's usual to get him through the purification rundown, objectives, and in some cases a drug rundown. See the bulletins Grade Chart Streamlined for Lower Grades and Primary Rundown, revised. Designation. The fast flow student should be given a blue lapel award and wear it in class. It should say FFS on it in black letters. This gives the green light to rapid and effective completion of courses for the fast flow student.
All right, I'm going to skip right over to the HCO policy letter of 14 March 1971 called On Giving Checkouts. It cancels the policy letter called Giving Star Rate Checkouts and references the following policy letters and bulletin. Instruction and examination, raising the standard of. Theory checkout data, how to do theory checkouts and examinations. Supervisor checkouts, and twinning.
Before any person may give another a star rate checkout on a policy, bulletin, or tape, or any materials, he must himself have read or listened to the material. This will make it possible to consult the understanding and ability to apply the material of the person being checked out. It is optimum if the person giving the checkout has been star rated on the materials, but often this is not possible, as in two twins just beginning a course. In this instance, both twins read, study, or coach and check out the material according to the theory of twin checkouts. This in no way alters high crime policy, okay to audit chits, okay to supervise chits, or any rules of study or training. Supervisors and auditors still get checked out in qual. In this case, for instance, it would be usual for the qual sec to start the chain off by reading the material of the new policy or HCOB and star rating the cramming officer or staff training officer, who would then star rate supervisors and auditors. Padding officers and staff training officers are expected to have read the material before they can star rate others. The unvarying rule is the minimum requirement for giving a star rate checkout is having read or listened to the material on which one is checking out another. This policy is not intended to stop twin checkouts. On the contrary, it should make checkouts faster and more effective.
What did we cover today? We learned that fast flow students are those who honestly complete the student hat and method 1, those two together, or the primary rundown, or the primary correction rundown. I'd say that considering that every service that I just mentioned is done via the meter, how do you have a dishonest completion? I'm wondering if this is when the auditor isn't fully hatted or competent on the meter and lets the PC attest. So I figured while I was at it, I would also look up the primary rundown and the primary correction rundown. So I will start with the primary rundown. The first step, make sure the PC tone arm is between 2 and 3. If not, primary correction rundown. It starts with method 1, which is either done in the HGC, Department 13, or in a student co-audit. The goal of this is to bring back a person's prior education. So it's going to be a big list of subjects for them to word clear. I will be talking about methods of word clearing in the next video. The next thing is method 8, the study tapes, followed by a full student hat method 8. The primary correction rundown is given to those who fail the primary rundown. It's given to all course supervisors, not case supervisors. People not literate enough for the PRD, people on drugs or who have been, auditors who have frequent cramming issues or those whose errors show up later on PCs, staff members who can't maintain stats or those who get into ethics trouble, students with low study stats or those who blow, and public who purchase a study rundown but don't plan on being auditors. I'm also going to give this little quote from the primary correction rundown technical bulletin, just to give you an idea. The rundown consists of ethics orientation on the first dynamic, potential trouble source from connections with hostile elements, drug handling, case handling, the why of not using study tech or study, the study correction list and handling, method 7, a review of grammar, and then back to a primary rundown consisting of method 1 word clearing, method 8 on study tapes, and student hat. We learned that provisional certificates are temporary certificates given to students and auditors by Department 15, which is certifications and awards. Provisional certificates can expire after 1 year and can be validated with a gold seal once it's proven that an auditor can show that they can produce flawless results, or when the staff member can produce a statistic in the material studied. Those considered fast flow students do not have to have a twin on the theory. They don't have to star rate check out on star rate items for some reason. And they don't have to have an examination, which I don't get. I would think that being fast flow and having done student hat method 1, PRD, or PCRD would cause them to be able to star rated items. Why do they get this special treatment when normal students don't? All major courses require the student hat. Those who don't have the combination of student hat and method 1, or the primary rundown, or the primary correction rundown, must star rate, clay demo, and go through materials as much as needed. We learned that those with drug cases who can't get through method 1 due to their case need the PRF. Fast flow students are given blue lapel awards to wear in class, saying FFS. We also learned that before giving a star rate checkout on any material, the person must have read or listened to it themselves, but this rule does not affect twinning on a course, and these can continue as normal. So there's quite a bit there, but there's also going to be quite a bit to talk about in the ending of the next episode, which is going to be about word clearing and all that stuff. So if you like this video, hit like or dislike, I don't really care. Comment with your feedback or questions, good, bad, or sideways, and subscribe to be kept up to date on future content. Hit that notification bell to make sure that you are aware of when my videos are getting to you, and hit share so you can show this lunacy to your friends, your family, or any other groups you want to show it to. I will talk to all of you later. See ya.